Pokemon X and Y might be one of the easiest Pokemon games ever made, but after surviving Pokemon Platinum, I know a Nuzlocke can still go very wrong. So it's finally time to continue the challenge where I Nuzlocke every Pokemon game by generation. I've done Gen 5 Trashlock, but now we begin Gen 6. Before getting into the run, here are some of the rules. First, I only get one encounter per route. Second, if a Pokemon faints, it's permanently boxed. Third, every Pokemon must be nicknamed. And finally, I can only use as many healing items as the boss trainer uses. Also, from this generation onward, the EXP share is permanently turned on. Since I'm playing with level caps anyway, we're keeping it that way. With that out of the way, let's start the run. We leave our house for the first time and immediately meet our new neighbors, Shauna and Serena, who drag us over to Accord Town, where we meet Tierno and Trevor. Honestly, Kalos has way too many rivals. Tierno lets us choose between Chespin, Fennekin, and Froakie as our starter. I decided to go with Froakie, easily one of the best starters in the entire game. As we leave the town, Shauna challenges us for our first battle. Her Fennekin wasn't really much of a threat, and a few bubbles from Froakie got us our first win of the run. And just like that, the Nuzlocke officially begins. On Route 2, our first encounter was a Pidgey. In Santaloon Forest, we caught a Weedle, which quickly evolved into Kakuna. Then on Route 3, we picked up a Fletchling, which actually might end up carrying the early game. We finally arrived at Santaloon City, but before taking on the gym, I headed over to Route 22, where we had a surprisingly close battle against a random trainer, before we caught a Bidoof. Back at the gym, we battled a roller skater who rewarded us with the roller skates, which still feels weird to me, and I don't even like that mechanic. As we made our way through the gym trainers, Kakuna evolved into Beedrill, and it was finally time for our first gym battle against Viola. Viola led with Surskit, while I led with Pidgey. A few gusts brought it low enough for Viola to use her potion, but eventually we managed to take it down. Then came in Vivillon. I switched to Fletchling, but Infestation plus repeated tackles started doing way too much damage, more than I expected. It forced me to use a potion to stay alive. Eventually, I pivoted into Beedrill, and after a few Fury attacks, Vivillon finally went down. And just like that, we secured our first gym badge in Kalos. As we left Santaloon City, Viola's sister, Alexa, actually gave us the EXP share. And again, I'm just going to leave it on for the run, since the game was pretty much designed around it. On Route 4, we picked up the Poison Barb item and caught a Ladybug before finally making it our way into Lumio City. Inside the city, Sina and Dexio led us over to Professor Sycamore's lab, where the professor immediately challenged us to a battle. Before the fight, I did a little grinding, and the team evolved really fast. Froakie became a Frogadier, Fletchling evolved into Fletchinder, Bidoof became Bibarel, and Ladybug evolved into Ledian. The actual battle against the professor wasn't too difficult. Pidgey pretty much handled his Kanto starters by itself, but after the battle, we were given a huge choice. One of the original Kanto starters. Now, in my opinion, Charmander is the best starter because of Mega Charizard X, and Squirtle is very solid, but for this run, I decided to go with Bulbasaur. Having a poison type, especially later on, is going to be really useful against fairy type mons. As we left the lab, we ran into Sina and a man named Lysander. And I mean, surely this guy isn't evil or anything, right? Serena brought us to a cafe where we randomly met the champion Diantha before finally continuing our adventure. On Route 5, Tierna wanted a battle, but before we could even start, we met Karina, the Shalor City gym leader, along with her Lucarios. And before the battle, Pidgey evolved into Pidgeotto, and honestly, Bulbasaur pretty much handled Tierno's team. Corphish didn't really stand a chance. After that, we managed to catch a Furfrou and finally arrived in Campfire Town. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. It would seriously help out a lot. Next time, we'll continue our adventure through Kalos.